Welcome back. You are watching A View from the House, coming to you live from Parliament. Now, yesterday we spoke to the leader of the Inkatha Freedom Party about the IFP's agenda for the 2013 parliamentary session. Our guest this morning is the Deputy Secretary General of the United Democratic Movement, Mr. Ngaba Kwankwa. Mr. Kwankwa, thank you very much. Good morning. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
The 2013 parliamentary session is in full swing. What has the UDM set out as its priorities or focus areas for this year?
The focus areas for the United Democratic Movement this year are going to be around the information bill, firstly.
Okay.
We will be looking to ensure that the insertion of the public defense clause, public interest defense clause in the bill actually takes place this year. We'd also be looking at debating and ensuring that issues such as the concerns that were raised towards the end of last year about the same bill, where certain sections of how the bill is phrased seek to trump the Promotion of Access to Information Act. We'll be looking to address and deal with those issues. The second issue which we'll also be discussing is the Transport Laws and Related Matters Amendment Act, which actually talks about e-tolling and so on. Because we don't support e-tolling as it is in Gauteng. But what we're not prepared to do as a party is to support anarchy, which is promoted by COSATU, an alliance partner of the ANC. We will not allow a situation whereby we're used or as pawns, in the internal power struggles of the African National Congress. But if the people of Gauteng, as we have seen over the past few months, are not happy, for an example, with the e-tolls, we'll gladly support them in any way we can.
Mr. Kwankwa, the presiding officers of both the National Assembly and the NCOP have promised to strengthen Parliament's oversight role over the executive and the various departments. Are you happy with things as they stand right now? And if not, what would your party like to see being jacked up within Parliament's oversight role?
Well, the most important thing is that when Parliament jacks up the oversight role, it should not, we mustn't be naive to believe that it's done for altruistic reasons in order to strengthen democracy. I mean, 2014 is around the corner. Obviously, the ruling party would like to be seen as being effective in its oversight role going into 2014. But I think what is important about this is that it will create a space where all parties can speak truth to power. Secondly, it will also help opposition parties to actually hold government departments and government and the executive as a whole to account for its decisions. So in that respect, I think we must welcome it.
On the topic of 2014 and the realignment of the opposition, what's your position with regard to opposition parties forming a united front against the ANC?
Well, we tabled a proposal in one of the meetings this year with the multi-party forum. The UDM tabled a proposal for the opposition parties to consider, where we're proposing that opposition parties contest the elections for the 2014 elections under one banner, but retaining their identities as different opposition parties. And we even went further and proposed the formation of an alliance as one of the things that we could explore. So we're indeed committed to that and would like to make sure that, for example, if we can formalize our relationship with opposition parties, we do so as soon as possible.
Mr. Kwankwa, in his reply to the debate on the state of the nation, President Zuma was critical of opposition parties joining forces against the ANC, and the chief whip of the ANC is on record as saying it will harm multi-party democracy. What's your response to this?
I find it strange and ironic that the chief whip of the opposition party, of the ruling party, would actually talk about espousing constitutional values of multi-party democracy, when actually in practice what they do is through the political party funding, they try to destroy opposition parties. We don't have enough funds, for an example, to be able to operate and make sure that we take our programs to the people. And now you can't, in an environment like that, even before, for an example, elections, what you see is that sometimes state resources are used to prop up the ruling party's campaigns. So you can't really say an environment like that is actually talking about or espousing constitutional values of multi-party democracy. I think it was pure politicking.
So right now it's just discussion that you guys are going to be contesting next year under one
banner. Yes, the political parties that have embraced our proposal is the Congress of the People and the Freedom Front Plus. So over the next few months, the Freedom Front Plus, COPE and the UDM will actually sit together and try to map a way forward. Obviously, the door is open for other opposition parties as well to consider our proposal.
Most political parties have welcomed the formation of Dr. Mampela Dampele's new party.
Yes.
Some have even offered to join forces. What would the UDM's response be to this kind of action?
Remember, we've been tilting at this political realignment windmill for many years now. So we would obviously be willing to sit down with Dr. Mampele Rampele and see as to how we can work together, because this is not about individual political parties or individual leaders. It's actually about the future of our country. It's more about offering a credible alternative, political alternative, to be specific to the people of South Africa.
Mr. Ngaba Kwankwa of the UDM, thank you very much for joining us this morning.
Much obliged to you.
Now, a bill aimed at harmonizing apartheid-era laws on dangerous weapons into a single law has been introduced in Parliament. That's our story after the break. Do stay tuned.